Hello busy dads and busy people everywhere. In this short video, I want to say a few words to share some thoughts that were prompted by a recent video that my friend Lee Hazard from the Strong and Conditioned channel made. If you haven't yet picked up the thread of this particular interaction, it all started when Lee called into question whether burpees are really sufficient for us to become well-rounded athletes. I'm going to share a second response video to that initial set of thoughts later in the week. But today, I want to pick up on a recent video that he made, because what happened was, after that first video, I came back and I insisted that really burpees are all you need, and I also pointed to the danger of diversifying your training too much. What I was trying to say in that video was that we are trying to become a new breed of athlete, a new type of physically oriented adult human being, and we want to become burpee practitioners, people who center burpees in their training. And my worry was that if we diversified too much, we would dilute that identity, we would lose track of what it really is to become a practitioner. Now, in his most recent video, Lee took that thought and ran with it, and he really started asking some deep questions about what it is to truly be a burpee practitioner. And I want to pick up on some of what he said there. Of course, it's necessary, if you want to be a burpee practitioner, that you do a hell of a lot of burpees, that you center burpees in your training, that you don't simply add them as an extra or an ancillary movement, but that you build your training around them. But Lee suggested that that's not sufficient. There are extra things that you need to do outside of your training to be a true burpee practitioner, to really be consumed by the movement. Lee pointed to a couple of things. He talked about the value of practicing the movement, of trying to perfect your form, of performing reps without timing yourself, doing a 20-minute session where you're just really trying to focus on the rep, feel your way into the movement. And he also made some other prescriptions. He said that as burpee practitioners, we should take pride in our physiques, we should eat properly, we should comport ourselves like athletes, because unless we do so, we won't really be able to advertise the benefits of what we're doing, and we should think of our physiques as a kind of a badge of honor that we wear that manifests our discipline as burpee practitioners. And I think that there's a lot to be said for taking pride in your physique, as long as it doesn't turn into narcissism. It's a little bit dangerous there, you have to tread carefully. There's a hell of a lot to be said for eating properly, okay? If you're training burpees 80 minutes a week, but eating like a slob for the rest of the time, again, that's not really comporting yourselves in the way that a burpee practitioner would. And I'm completely in agreement with him there. And I personally will continue to reflect on things that I can do in my life outside of my training to really give this movement the respect that it deserves, to really be worthy of the name of a burpee practitioner. But I also want to add some thoughts of my own on things that you can do outside of your training that will really take you from someone who does burpees into the status of a burpee practitioner. The first suggestion I want to make is that you film yourself doing your reps. If you film yourself in a workout, and not just for a demo rep, but if you film yourself all the way through a workout, and if you find the time to watch back some of that footage, you don't need to see it all, you're going to get really, really valuable feedback about your form. You're going to learn fixes that you might need to make. You're going to be able to study the way that your form decays over the course of the workout, so that the next time you're training, when you're at minute 15, there are going to be certain cues you can give yourself to tighten up. That's something that I always do. About minute 30, minute 14, I check in with myself. Is my lower back starting to slump? Do I need to re-engage the glutes? Do I need to renew my effort to make sure that that form looks good? And whenever I find time, I watch back those videos. I recommend that you do the same. It's not about sharing on a channel, though of course you're welcome to join the community if that's what you choose, but really just for your own benefit, to get the feedback, the visual feedback. Speaking of visual feedback, another thing that you can do, and this is something that I do every single workout, is visualization. Okay, when you come up with a strategy, it's not just enough to write that strategy down on paper. Before you train, I want you to inhabit that movement. Close your eyes. Really, really imagine what it feels like to start at the top of your 6 count, to move down into the first position. Feel that tension in your body. to jump out into the plank, to push down, to come out. Visualize. And visualize what it's going to feel like at minute 10 when you're exhausted and you're going into your sets of 5, or you're doing whatever strategy it is. Visualize. Close your eyes, think it through. Let the idea of the workout consume you a little bit. Don't let it take over your life, but every so often, my wife will hear me walking up and down my house muttering 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2, audibly. Because the visualization is becoming so intense for me that I'm letting the words come out. I'm really, really getting excited about my training. Mental preparation is absolutely key. If you don't, like me, have the time to sit around practicing the rep by performing reps, a different form of practice and a different form of preparation is to imagine the reps, visualize them. I do that before every single workout. When I talk about the value of coming into your workout with a strategy, I mean a hell of a lot more than just writing it down. I mean really, really inhabiting it from the inside. When I recently tried for a graduation campaign, I had my friend Julian coaching me through it. I wrote down the workout for him, but I never really thought it through. And 3 minutes in, I was in deep waters and I knew I wasn't going to be able to swim through them. So visualize your workouts. Take pride. Let the burpee become a real identity. If you were learning a martial art, my friends, you would be dreaming about that martial art. If you were learning climbing, okay, you would be thinking about climbing all day. I want you to do the same with your burpees. I want it to become more than a hobby. I want it to become a passion for you that consumes you. And if it does, all of those things that Lee described, the physique, the bearing, they will come naturally. All right, my friends, that's just some thoughts that I wanted to add to Lee's very insightful video. Let's continue to reflect together on what it is to truly be a burpee practitioner. All right, my friends, that's enough from me. We'll speak again very soon.